Have you ever wondered how one can truly love an entity as abstract and omnipotent as God? This question is not as far-fetched as it might seem. In fact, it's one of the most profound inquiries that humans have grappled with throughout the ages. When we talk about love, we often picture it in human terms: caring for someone, investing time in them, experiencing joy and sorrow together. But what does it mean to love God? The love for God, often referred to as divine love, is a concept that transcends our usual understanding of affection. It's not about physical proximity or familiar bonds, but rather, it's a deep spiritual connection that transcends the physical plane. This love is a cornerstone in many religious practices. It's about devotion, respect, and a deep sense of awe. It's about cherishing the divine wisdom that governs the universe and striving to align oneself with it. However, loving an abstract entity like God can be challenging. After all, how can one love something they cannot see, touch, or converse with in the traditional sense? But therein lies the beauty and the mystery of divine love. It asks us to love beyond the limitations of our senses, to reach into the depths of our spirit, and to connect with the divine in a deeply personal and profound way. This love is not one-sided, it's a reciprocal relationship, a dialogue, a dance of souls. As we love God, we find that divine love also permeates our lives, guiding us, comforting us, and inspiring us to be our best selves. In essence, divine love is not just about loving God, but also about allowing ourselves to be loved by God. It's about opening our hearts to the divine presence in our lives and letting that love transform us from within. Understanding the concept of divine love forms the foundation of our journey towards loving God. It's an exploration of the depths of our own hearts, a journey into the uncharted territories of the soul, where we discover not just the love for the divine, but also the divine love for us. The first step towards loving God is acknowledging His presence in our lives. Picture this: you're walking through life with a companion who is always there, guiding and supporting you. This companion is God, and His presence is a constant comforting force in our lives. Each day is filled with His creations, from the rising sun that starts our day, to the people we encounter who touch our lives in unique ways. In every moment and every interaction, we can see the hand of God at work. It's in the kindness of a stranger, the beauty of nature, the joy of love, the strength in adversity. When we truly open our eyes and hearts, we begin to understand the profound influence of His presence in our personal experiences. By acknowledging God's presence, we start to build a personal relationship with Him. It's the first essential step on the path to divine love. To love God, we need to understand His teachings. It's like getting to know a friend. The more you understand their beliefs and values, the deeper your relationship with them becomes. The same principle applies to our relationship with God. His teachings, principles, and values can be found in religious texts, sermons, and through personal reflection. These sources provide a roadmap, guiding us towards a deeper understanding and love for Him. For instance, consider the principle of compassion, a value that is emphasized in many religious texts. By understanding and practicing compassion, we embody one of God's teachings and in turn deepen our love for Him. Personal reflection is another key tool. It allows us to internalize and relate to God's teachings on a personal level. It's through this internalization that we truly begin to understand the depth and beauty of God's teachings. Understanding God's teachings deepens our connection with Him and enhances our love for Him. Understanding is just the first part. Practicing God's teachings is where real love begins. It's one thing to know the teachings, but it's another entirely to live them out. Each day presents us with opportunities to demonstrate our love for God by acting upon His teachings. This is not simply about adhering to a set of rules or regulations. Rather, it's about embodying the values and principles that God stands for: love, compassion, forgiveness, generosity. When we show kindness to a stranger, forgive someone who has wronged us, or extend a helping hand to those in need, we are putting God's teachings into action. These actions, small or large, are our personal expressions of divine love. They are our way of saying, "I love you, God," without uttering a single word. They are the tangible manifestations of our spiritual devotion. By practicing God's teachings, we express our love for Him through action. The pinnacle of loving God is developing a personal relationship with Him. Just as we forge relationships with our friends, families, and loved ones, so too can we cultivate a personal relationship with the divine. This relationship is an intimate, unique, and deeply personal journey, which is not about ticking boxes or following a set of rules. It's about fostering a connection that is deeply rooted in love, respect, and trust. A significant way to build this relationship is through prayer. Prayer is not just about asking for help or blessings, but it's also a way to express our gratitude. It's an opportunity to say thank you for the blessings we've already received, for the challenges that have shaped us, and for the gift of life itself. Prayer is a conversation with God, a dialogue that allows us to share our deepest thoughts, fears, hopes, and dreams. Meditation, on the other hand, is a way to listen to God. It's a practice that allows us to quiet the noise of the world and tune into the divine. It's about finding stillness and experiencing the presence of God in that quiet. Through meditation, we can learn to discern the voice of God and find guidance in our daily lives. Personal reflection is another crucial aspect of developing a personal relationship with God. It allows us to look inward and examine our actions, thoughts, and feelings. Through reflection, we can gain a better understanding of ourselves and how we can align our lives more closely with God's teachings. And remember, this relationship with God is not a one-way street. It's not just about us reaching out to Him, but also about being open and receptive to His presence in our lives. It's about feeling connected to the divine, knowing that we are never alone and that we are always loved, guided, and protected. A personal relationship with God is the ultimate expression of our love for Him. So let's cherish this relationship, nurture it, and let it guide us on our journey of faith. Loving God is a journey that involves acknowledgement, understanding, practice, and personal connection. We've traversed this journey together today, and it's essential to remember the steps we've taken. We began our journey by acknowledging God's presence. This is the first fundamental step on the path to divine love. It's about recognizing that there is a higher power, an omnipresent force that guides and shapes our lives. It's about opening our hearts and minds to the existence of God and acknowledging His influence in our lives. Next, we explored understanding God's teachings. This is the process of diving into the scriptures, the holy books, and the wisdom passed down through generations. It's about seeking to comprehend the messages and teachings God has for us. But understanding is just the beginning. It's like reading a recipe. The real magic happens when you start cooking. Which brings us to the third step, practicing God's teachings. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's about applying the wisdom and teachings we've understood into our daily lives. It's about kindness, compassion, love, and forgiveness. It's about living in a way that reflects the divine love we seek. Finally, the last step we discussed was developing a personal relationship with God. This is the culmination of the journey. It's about more than just rituals and practices. It's about forming an intimate personal connection with the divine. It's about dialogue, trust, and love. It's about feeling God's presence in our everyday lives and experiencing His love firsthand. In essence, the journey to loving God is about acknowledgement, understanding, practice, and personal connection. It's about taking these steps one by one and moving towards a deeper, more profound love for the divine. Remember, the journey of loving God is personal and unique to each individual. Start your journey today and experience the profound love and connection that come from a relationship with the divine.